Hello nation, and welcome back to the homestead.
So this year we thought it would be a great idea to have a huge garden. Not just huge, but 10,000 square feet. This, as we're walking, this is just the tip of the iceberg, just the beginning.
Yeah, because we wanted a big garden, and so we did a lot of things to get ready for this huge 10,000 foot garden.
Yeah. So
as the spring and summer gardening season is starting to slowly come to an end, because you should be getting your fall crops seed started, your cabbages, your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, all those, we thought that we would take this opportunity to share with you guys kind of what we've learned, what succeeded, what failed, and what we're going to do different next year.
So you might be wondering, why such a big garden? Like, why 10,000 square feet? This is like 100 and something by 100 and something.
And not only why would you do that, why would you do that after you're down two other bodies
Right.
that could help with everything, getting ready to be down the third body when it's just going to be us?
Right.
Well, the answer stems back to last year Vacation Bible School.
Well, let me pause you for just a second. Obviously, the very first one is because we want to put up food too. We want to preserve stuff and put up our own food, but we could have done that, you know, with half the size of this.
Okay,
right?
hold on. Wait, did you just a roundabout way call me fat?
No, by no means.
You're talking about a 10,000 square foot garden. You're talking about, no, we want to put up food.
Well, I mean that, and we wanted to be able to try and feed our animals, supplement our feed, and things like that. So that was one of the reasons why we wanted such a big garden. But the big one,
I still think that was a sneaky way of calling me fat. But the real reason, the major reason behind it, yes, we want to be able to put stuff up for us, and we want to be able to enjoy the fruits of the labor,
sure, so to speak,
to speak, is last year Vacation Bible School. I got the privilege, the blessing to be able to help with Vacation Bible School and work with an age group that had a lot of young boys in it. And come to find out, we have a lot of people in our community that are struggling, a lot of families that are struggling, and a lot of these kids, when school's out, they don't get the opportunity to eat. If you know me, you know that is a huge pet peeve of mine, is to see children go hungry.
Right.
So Robin and I sat down, we started looking at the homestead and where we could move things, do things, stuff, and so this
was the baby of that.
This is the baby of that.
That's right.
Keep in point, baby.
Baby, exactly.
All right, so the first thing that we want to share, obviously, is successes. Everybody wants to talk about their success.
Sure.
And with this 10,000 square foot garden that we have here, 100 foot by 100 foot and some change, you took the time this last winter and you divided this garden up into different squares, 12 foot by 12 foot squares. And you gave us walk paths.
3 feet.
Walk paths with 3 feet apart. Now what we did is we put straw down all the walk paths, which really helped with weed control. Somewhat.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
And as you can see here behind me, we've got corn, we got okra, corn, sunflowers, corn, okra, and then back there you can't really see it. It bounces between squash and zucchini. Those vegetables that I just pointed out were really pretty much our success story for this garden. They all did really well in your 12 foot by 12 foot squares.
Yes. The other good thing that we did, you said we did the paths, but we hilled up when we were planting. We hilled up the ground so that when we planted, we were planting on the top of a hill, so that when we put the mulch down, that it created a valley where the water could sit and not eat away the roots of the plant, but still kind of water from the sides. Yeah. So, and we'll talk a little bit about why we came up with that in just a minute.
In just a minute.
Right.
But overall, we got a good foundation on what to do next year, and we do get to enjoy some stuff. It wasn't a complete...
No, and I think there's still stuff to be found, because like the other day I was walking through and there's morning glories everywhere. And
I wonder where they came
if
from.
you know what morning glory leaves look like, they have a definitive look, and they're right here. But they're somewhat close to squash, cucumber, like that kind, but they're a little bit different. And also sweet potatoes. So we have a sweet potato patch over here that some sweet potatoes, some morning glory. So when we get in there to dig, it's gonna be interesting to see what all we actually do have, because you can't really tell. But then like there's other places, like I was talking about with the cucumbers, where I thought it was all morning glories, and then I walked and looked around and I found cucumbers that were like, they're huge. And also the beans, you know, bean leaves too look a lot like morning glory leaves. They have the same kind of shape. So we have some beans over here that are growing, but we don't really know until we like dive in there and go take a look.
Yeah. Same way with the cowpeas.
Right.
And then the pumpkins are doing pretty good. Plus, I forgot, we harvested 6 cantaloupes yesterday, and the cantaloupes are doing well. Watermelon, we're getting watermelons, but we'll
talk about that later.
tell you about that, what's going on next. Okay, so let's talk about the stuff that nobody wants to talk about, and that would be our setbacks and failures.
Started out with plants. We always have this internal argument every year of when we should start plants. I tried to start them when you wanted them started, and I kept getting met with, I don't know if we had a bug or a mouse or a cat that kept coming in and eating the tops off the plants.
I think that was Deso with scissors feeding them to our tortoises.
Something. So we were already behind a little bit with plants, but then we had a blessing happen where we were able to get some. So it really wasn't too much of a failure, but we've learned from that, and this year I'm going to surrender and we're going to start everything in January. And I'm telling you that on the film so he's got proof. So that was that. Then there was...
Well, then we had some tractor issues.
Yeah.
And most of the tractor issues were my fault. The one major one wasn't really, we had an accident. We had an accident with the tractor where we had a bad storm coming, and Odessa was trying to get the tractor undercover beforehand, and we forgot about lowering the roll cage,
bar,
and she slammed it into the shop, and that did some pretty hardcore damage to the tractor, to the frame. It bent up some stuff, and so the tractor had to go away for about, believe it or not, thank you Stack Equipment, it was only really gone like a week and a half.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Well, we had to wait because there was some other stuff going on with them before we could get it in.
Yeah, but I mean, it was only gone
a week and a half.
Week and a half maybe, which is a huge turnaround for everything that they had to do to the tractor.
Especially this time of year.
And so we got the tractor back, and then we purchased a tiller attachment implement for the tractor to be able to till this monstrous garden.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do it without that. So that was a good purchase.
And so another rookie mistake, as I was turning around, I was raising the PTO up too high, because we had to cut the PTO arm, or whatever that piece is called. I can't remember what it's called. Well, the knuckle of it, as I was turning around, I was turning it up too high. Well, it popped that whole joint, and so then we had to get that fixed. So I got it tilled, but then I popped it real close to the end, and then we had to go get that fixed, and we had to wait for the part to come in, because nobody in town had this. And so then we got it, boom, and then I had to till again. But then Mother Nature decided to said she wanted to throw in on some of this chaos.
Yeah.
We, for some unknown reason, we usually get heavy rains late April, early May. They didn't come this year until end of May, first couple of weeks of June.
Yeah.
I jokingly would always say, especially at church or vacation Bible school, everybody's like, man, we're getting this rain. I said, yeah, we just put corn seed in the ground. God's watering it in for us because we had to come to vacation Bible school.
Right.
You know, we put cantaloupe seed in. God's watering it in because we had to come to vacation Bible school. But it wasn't a light drizzling rain.
No, it wasn't drizzle rain.
No, it was washing stuff out to the point where we had to replant okra, corn, sunflowers, like 3-4 times.
Well, and how you could even tell that that's what happened is when some of it would pop, because we had some that popped up, and it popped up in a curve like this.
It was like an S-row, like a snake planted everything.
So Carol got in there and kind of pulled stuff up and put it back in, and then we filled in the holes, and we had to do that, like you said, 3, 4, 5 times. It was crazy. Now,
I need you to imagine that these rains were so heavy that we had standing water in some points. So we couldn't just go out there the next day. We had to let it dry out, go out there, fix everything. And every time we had to do that, that took away from being able to plant
anything else,
the rest of the garden.
Right.
And so that constantly kept putting us behind. And then, of course, where we weren't planting, weeds would show up.
Right. But one of the things that you came up with after it started raining was, let's instead of just doing the squash on hills and just doing the pumpkins on hills, let's do everything on hills. And then that way the seed is up high, so if the rain comes and beats it down, it's going to go further into the hill, and the water will puddle up in the valleys, and then that way it will feed from the side.
We only had one rain that really beat the mess out of some okra that we had to redo the okra again.
After that, yeah.
But that gave us the ability to plant the tomatoes and the squash and other stuff. But unfortunately, once you fall behind with a garden this size with weeds, you pretty much lost the battle.
Lost the fight.
Unless you're going to come in there and just till everything up again.
Well, and the bigger thing is, I mean, right now while we're filming, it's 100 and something degrees. So the only way that you're going to be able to weed anything is if you're doing it very early in the morning or very late at night, because otherwise you will die of heat exhaustion. So
let me tell you how we're going to fix that for next year.
Hopefully.
And there's no hopefully about it, because what we're standing on right now is we've been blessed with working with our county to get wood chips. And I have been able to make paths around my homestead with wood chips. We were doing it in the garden, but those rains did not help with all of the traffic coming up and down.
You mean the driveway?
Yeah, that's what I meant, the driveway. And people coming up and down, them delivering the wood chips, us going back and forth, company coming over, and it just made it a muddy mess.
Right.
So we had to scrape all that up. But what it did make was awesome compost.
Very good compost.
For us to be able to spread out. So this is what our plan is for next year, to be able to stop this from happening. As soon as we're done, before we plant our fall
garden
stuff, I'm going to till this again. We went through 5 big round bales of straw, mulching everything in here, and it just didn't help. Even in the walk path, like there's a walk path marked right there with a couple of step-in posts. It's all weeded up through. So the straw wasn't thick enough.
Right.
So we're gonna go to the back to Eden method, the permaculture method. And once I till this, I'm going to top dress it with that compost that I was just talking about.
Right.
And then I'm taking a good layer of wood chips.
Just cover it.
And I'm just going to cover it.
Yep.
That way it can sit there all winter.
And we'll just plant, we're starting our seed now for our fall plants inside. And so by the time it's time to put them in the ground, we'll just pull back the mulch.
Pull back the wood chips, plant, push the wood chips back up.
And be done.
And be done with it. And then when springtime rolls around, we can go ahead and put another light top layer of wood chips back on it and do the same thing
again.
That way, none of these, if any of these weeds have gone to seed, they're not going to have really the potential to be able to germinate, because they're not going to get any sunlight. Or anything like. And then if they do, because it's wood chips, they're going to be uber easy.
Well, like here
to pull.
Yeah, I mean, like this right here is probably, you know, Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge root ball right there. And it wasn't that difficult. I just had to put a little oomph behind it. So
That was completely off script. But I mean, so it'll be easy.
it'll be easy to weed. Mhm.
And with us starting the seeds and stuff earlier, we'll be able to come out, move, plant, pluck
Right.
any weeds and stuff that we got going on, and then next year our garden should be 10 times more successful.
Productive. Yeah. So fingers crossed. Stay tuned. Watch as we do this, because we're going to show you the full transformation as it goes this fall. You're tilling, we'll put up all the wood chips, all of that, and we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes. All we can do is continue. So that's one thing about homesteading. It's always a constant learning thing. You're never going to be a master or an expert, no matter how many different books you can write or podcasts that you can do. You're never going to be an expert, because something
There's
new,
always something
new comes up.
Right.
I mean, we're starting to see our summers get hotter. Our wet season starts later.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see what this winter does.
I mean, it's like, just real quick before we go, our peaches, we don't normally harvest peaches in July.
Yeah.
We normally harvest them the end of May, beginning of June. We're like a month off, so everything is a month practically behind.
All right, so we moved around to the other side of the garden because we had to go to the shade because it's so stinking hot out here that the phone turned off.
So sorry if it's a little jumpy in that edit. Did the best we could.
Did the best we could. So that's our story for our spring and summer garden of 2025. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell. Don't forget to check out our website, www.bigbearhomestead.com. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead.
God bless.
And have a nice day.